I married the most popular boy in school, but he was gay, so he gave me 3 rules on our wedding night. Don't talk to me, don't touch me, and stay out of my business. But I didn't realize that later he himself broke each of those rules. My eyes went wide as I tried to process what Michael had just said. No touching, no talking, he told me. Wait, what kind of marriage is this? He didn't say anything else, just stood up and walked into the bathroom, leaving me staring at nothing. I just couldn't wrap my head around it. A few minutes later he came out. He climbed into bed without a word, switched off his lamp, and went asleep. I lay there staring at him, thinking, is this real? What had I gotten myself into? My mind raced with possibilities, but I was too exhausted to do much more than roll over and turn off the lamp. I prayed the night would be over quickly. The next morning I woke up in a strange room. It took me a moment to remember that I was married. I turned to look at the bed next to me, but Michael wasn't there. I could hear water running from the bathroom, so I slipped out of bed, put on a robe, and made my way downstairs. I quickly got to work, making breakfast, pancakes, some sauce, and a glass of milk for him when I heard him coming down the stairs dressed sharply in a black suit, and I greeted him with a smile. Good morning. He didn't even respond. I was taken aback but tried again. I made breakfast. Hope you like it. He picked up his briefcase, ignored me, and walked straight out the door, saying when I give a rule I expect it to be followed. I stood there stunned. Was this a joke? How could we be married and he wouldn't even talk to me? What kind of relationship was this? I tried to brush it off for the time being. Maybe when he came back I could talk to him about all this. The hours dragged by and still he wasn't home. I made dinner, hoping he'd at least come back for that, but by midnight he still hadn't shown up. I gave up waiting, climbed into bed, turned off the light. Out of nowhere, I opened my eyes to find Michael staring at me. I nearly had a heart attack. When did he come back? How did he get in without me hearing him? He didn't say a word. I just stared at him, too scared to ask. He didn't even wake me up when he came in. I was so confused I turned away, trying to ignore the growing frustration inside me. The next day I woke up late again and went about my routine. I had to go to work. I showed up to work and my cause worker were all surprised to see me. What's up? No honeymoon? Marilyn asked they were all surprised to see me here instead of spending the night with Michael. As they started teasing me, Agatha got a little too curious, checking for any signs of a wild night. You know, hickeys and all that. When she found none, she couldn't believe it. Michael, the wild man, had been surprisingly gentle, or so she thought. They were all insisting that I owed them a girls' night out. You didn't take us to the club before the wedding, you promised, Agnes reminded me. I sighed, knowing I couldn't get out of it. I'd have to convince Michael to let me go out tonight. Maybe he'd say yes, but who knew? Later I got home. I sent a text to Janet, letting her know I'd be there soon. As I waited, I realized I still didn't have Michael's number. I hadn't even asked for it, but before I could do anything, I heard the door open, and there he was, back from wherever he'd been. I tried again to talk to him. I made dinner. Want me to heat it up? He ignored me and kept walking up the stairs. I'm going out with my friends, I tried, but he stopped dead in his tracks. He turned around, his eyes burning into mine. I gave you a rule. Do you need me to spell it out again? No talking to me. His words hit me like a punch. I tried to hide how hurt I was, but it was hard. Okay. Am I allowed to go out with the girls? I asked quietly. He didn't answer, just walked up the stairs. I couldn't help but sigh and make my way out. At least I could escape this weirdness for a bit. I caught a cab and headed to the club. Meanwhile, in the upstairs room, Michael stood by the window and watched the taxi disappear into the distance. Go and find the club Mrs. Brown is going to, he ordered. You have 10 minutes in the club.